A very good morning, students. Today we'll be presenting what are the differences between centralization and decentralization. Usually, centralization is for very small organizations. Okay, here the boss is single, where the communication comes from the boss itself. It is not a open and free communication. Whatever the powers to be taken, whatever decisions to be taken, it all lies under the ownership of the what the boss itself. Okay, it has to come from the boss. Okay, so it is a vertical downward communication because it has to go from top to the middle and from middle to the low level. So that process is called as decentralization. Okay, the retentions of the powers and authority with respect to planning and decisions, the top management is known as centralization. So then what is a decentralization? It's the open and free communication. Each and everyone has got the authority. There is no any bossism here. Okay, each and everyone are their own bosses. Okay, they are very free to participate in the process, very free to participate in the work. Okay, the dissemination of authority, responsibility, and accountability to various management levels is known as decentralization. Top, middle, and low level have got the equal opportunity, have got the equal opportunity in them. Okay, then it involves systematic and constrained reservation of the authority. Okay, here the boss is more authorized. He can himself disseminate the duties or responsibilities to the lower levels of the management, but a systematic disposal of the authority. More than responsible, they are more authorized. Okay. Then the next point is communication flow. It's a vertical communication because it is flowing downwards. It goes from top to middle, then middle to the low level, and it is a open and free communication. Decision making is slow because it all has to come from the boss itself. So decision making is very slow. Then comparatively faster. It is what? Comparatively faster. Then advantages is what? Proper coordination, leadership. Why? Because the boss, he himself motivates, guides the employees. Okay, he himself coordinates. He will take the leadership qualities. Then there is a sharing of burden and responsibility as equally all are responsible. So there is a sharing of burden and responsibility. Then power of decision making lies with the top management because everything has to come from the boss. It lies in the what? Top management. So multiple persons have the power of decision making. Here only the boss has the power of decision making. Where multiple persons can be involved. Implemented when inadequate control over the organization. This is considerable control over the organization. So this is a differences between a centralization and a decentralization process. So we'll move to the next slide. So what you actually mean by the authority? Okay, it is the right of giving the instructions. It's the right of giving the commands. Okay, it's a power to extract the obedience. Okay, right to make decisions and allocate the resources. Kindly distribute the work among the various persons or among various workers, co-workers, and extract the work from them. So he is more authorized. Responsibility is what? It is exactly opposite of the authority. Okay, here it is the individuality that will come into the picture. Duty of an individual to perform, ensure people are committed to perform, establish relationship between superior and the subordinates. So the authorized person are top management people. Middle level management people will take the responsibility, and then they deliver their duties. They perform their duties by coordination to the top management people. Then delegation of authority. What do you mean by this delegation of authority? Granting authority to the subordinates by the superior. Okay, it is granting the authority to subordinates by the superior. Superior people will grant the responsibilities. Okay, they will grant different authorities. So delegate a routine work to the subordinates, and majorly they concentrate on major issues than the minor issues. Reduces the burden of manager. So he is putting the burden to the his co-fellows or the co-fellows by extracting the work. So that is all about a delegation of authority. Next, we move to the terminology called as span of control. What do you mean by span of control? It is how effectively a team leader or a team guide or a team supervisor can guide effectively how much of the workers among any team. For example, it will take the four number of teams: team 1, team 2, team 3, team 4. Team 1 is capable of handling 5 persons only very effectively. Okay, if you give him 10, the effectiveness will be lost. So that is a span of control. So managers will limit the number of subordinates. Okay, although they will not take more than the number. Okay, that span of control is there. Okay, according to Uruvik, he says span of two types. One has narrow span, another one is wide span. What is this narrow span? So narrow span people are not so much skilled. They need a very deep supervision for them to bring up, to uplift them from their thinking abilities or their what you can say, their delivering communication to the world should be all improved. That type of category of people are a narrow span. What do you mean by this wide span? Wide span are category of people where need a very less supervision, so not much of the communication. Okay, there is a wide span. So we move to the next slide. So what is this staffing? Staffing is a very interesting process. Okay, it is a turning point in each individual because you are employed there. Okay, staffing is something where you are employed. So what is the staffing here? Staffing, it is a process of attracting, developing, motivating, and retaining human resources of the organization. It is just like filling the vacant positions in the organization. Okay, so it involves staffing involves two processes, that is recruitment and the selection. Recruitment is the initial step for hiring the employees, because why the vacant fields have to be filled is one way of attracting, developing, motivating, and retaining. Okay, they will stimulate the person to put for the job. So how do we stimulate, how do we attract? Okay, the salaries are paid in time. You will be given the quarters facilities to this to once you are hired. You will be given, you will be once if you are hired in a big industry like Infosys and Wipro, you will be have the opportunity to do MS. You will be having chances to go to the different states. Okay, so this kind of something in the advertisement itself, they are attracted, they are motivated. Okay, they retain them, the good training facilities are being given. Okay, that's all about what the definition. Then what it involves, it identifies the number of people, how many vacant positions are there. For example, IBPS, the bank people will call, there are 1500 probationary officers post. Okay, that is identifying the number of people, what kind of people you need, and their qualification experience, what you, whether you need a BCom degree, whether you need a BE degree. Okay, you are calling the post for assistant professor in engineering colleges, whether he has to have MTech, he has to have PhD, all those kind of category, their qualification, experience, and selection of a right person for a right job means technical person for a technical job, then non-technical person for a non-technical job, administration person for administration job, director post will be called, then training and development. So it involves all. What first? Identifying the number of people, identifying the vacancies, then what type of people to be hired, then selection of a potential candidate, then training him and developing in that particular area. Then we move to the one more slide. What is this nature and importance of staffing? So what is the importance? If you do the staffing, what will be there? What is the advantage? Helps in discovering talent and competent workers. They move the organization ladder. Once you have hired a very good potential candidates, what you do, you are discovering the talented people over there. Your competent workers are coming. Okay, they put their inherent abilities in the organization, and they move the organized leader. It increases production because as and when the more the human resources, because the company can work in all the three shifts or all the 365 days. Okay, and it avoids sudden disruption. Because why it will avoid the disruption? Because you have hired the number of employees whatever you are needed. Because suddenly if anybody retires, or if anybody is dead, or if anybody is transferred, so those vacant positions will not be a problem. You are hired something extra employees for the for the smooth conductioning of the various works in the industry or in the organization, maintains a harmony and a healthy atmosphere. When lots of persons are there, when there's a coordination there, when there's a piece of work going on, everything there develops a harmony and a healthy atmosphere. Requirement of manpower at various levels, whether it may be a top, a middle, or low level, it requires. Okay, so with this process, we'll go for the process called as selection process. So after doing the recruitment, this is the main thing which you need, okay, in the selection process. So first, what is a selection then? It's a process of picking individuals who have relevant qualification and competency required for the job. You will choose a very appropriate qualified person, not choosing a non-qualified person. You are choosing a very qualified and who has really competency, who can compete with the other co-fellows, co-workers, and move the organization ladder. So what are the steps involved in selection process? First one is the application form, because everybody has to fill the application form. It has the personal information related to your parents, where do you stay, what is your email ID, what is your phone number, okay, and what is the criteria to be filled, your all credentials you are done in the education, your co-curricular activities, extra co-curricular activities, okay, everything is filled in the application form. Then they do the process of testing. What is this testing? Testing is something that, for example, if it's a software companies, they go for testing like aptitude tests, group discussion. Okay, so if it's a bank exam like IBPS, they do conduct the written test examinations. Okay, the aptitude test one, aptitude test two. Their reasoning abilities, their skills of this one is being done. When you apply for a voice and non-voice test, they apply for a typing test. Okay, then the interviews are being conducted. What is the interviews? It is facing face-to-face communication. You will face a panel of interviewers. Okay, the viva will be asked, oral communication. Testing is almost a written communication. Interview is a oral communication. It is between you interact, you propagate yourself. Reference checks is testing his character. How was his credentials in the previous organization? So the present organization will give a call to the organization which have worked in the previous institutions, and they get the information from the previous organization which you have been worked. And what is a physical examination, especially in military, when you are applying for for a something in military examinations, or something like when you are applying for the pilot, or when you are applying especially in electrical jobs, especially these ITI people, when they need to climb the poles. So physical examination of climbing the pole they will do. And finally, this is the very happiest moment, final decision, because once you are selected, you are given an order copy here, and this is the final decision made in the selection process. So the next one is recruitment process. This is also the initial step before a selection. Okay, recruitment is a positive process where it makes you to put for the jobs, but the selection is a very bitter process. You may select or you may not be selected. So what are the different processes in a recruitment process here? First one is vacancy identification. For identify, we'll take example of engineering colleges. Okay, you are hiring for assistant professors, associate professors. Okay, so you need to see how many vacancies are being created. Then why do these vacancies are being created? Due to the retirement. The person is retired for 60 years, then you have transferred the person from one organization to the another sister organization. Then you have then due to the death and also due to the resignation given by the, because they might have been got a good job in there. Then any advertisements, okay, it will have this job description. So how the job scenario will be there, how you have to work, okay, and something will be published in the websites. What is the salary they are going to give? What is your job title? Okay, how the working conditions will be there, and what whether you should be a fresher or should be experienced. Then next comes is what advertisements. Advertisements, all those mentioned above, the points about this will be there. The main attraction to bring the employees might have been seen in Deccan Herald. There are so many different what you can see, the different advertisements related to jobs are put so that they will attract the potential candidates towards their organization. And finally, shortlisting the candidates based on the application. Okay, then the shortlist go. Then finally, preliminary and final interviews will be conducted. Okay, this is a then what are the sources of recruitment? What are the sources then? Internal sources, promotion. So promotion is the what one way of internal sources over there. It is carried within the organization, so it is called as what the internal sources. So promotion is promoting a person from a lower levels to the higher levels. It's just like in engineering college, you're promoting from assistant professor to the associate professor. Okay, then from a principal to the director, then from a director to the vice chancellor. Then if you take in banks, it is like just like a clerk to officer scale one. Okay, assistant manager to a manager. So those are promotions because of the good work done in the organization. You've been promoted. No, then it was retirement. So a person successfully, fruitfully have been worked 60 or 58 years for that particular organization, has been retired. Then former employees, they will refer. Okay, the former employees a referral. Okay, it is the one famous thing going in the software companies. Okay, what is the they will refer these people. Okay, they will refer the people. This person is good. Always you fill in the application form. That is all the former employees. Then transfer what? They transfer from one organization to the another organization. So the what you can say, the vacancy have been created. Then internal advertise, especially you see in the banks, they put on the notice board, the messages are being given. Okay, it is just like helping the what you can say, the in workers or in participants who have participated in that particular work of the bank. There is internal advertisement. Then finally come the external sources. As they are carried externally from outside, one is the campus recruitment. Okay, the companies itself famous like Infosys, L&T, Wipro, they come and hire the engineering students, BCom students, commerce graduate students, science students. Okay, engineering students are being hired. Okay, so that they get offer letter in the campus itself. Okay, this is one way before they could finish their graduation, their order copy is ready in their hands. Then employee exchange. These are something the sources for the employees to get the view. Okay, and so it's just like a torchlight to help which are the different companies could be there. Okay, there are government exchanges, private exchanges, which help the employees, potential employees, to search for the different industries or a government what of say government jobs. Then recruitment consultants. So these are just like employee exchanges only, but they do an extra job. That is, they conduct screening tests, preliminary tests, and then they will guide the different what you can say the job seekers to search for the job. Walk-in interviews is that they call for walk-in interviews. The persons have been called, they have tested so many tests, and finally there is a word of mouth. What is this word of mouth? Word of mouth is something like where you participate, where the it is just like storytelling. It is just like a storytelling where the employees who have done already work, they will tell the story. So Infosys is very good. The salary is very good. The working conditions are fantastic. It is something like it is going from one mouth to the another mouth. It is just like engineering students who have studied in the particular engineering colleges like KLE, Gokche, okay, you may say something Bangalore good engineering colleges like then some good Bangalore engineering colleges. They are saying about that college. That means the more number of students are attracted towards this one. So this is all the things which I wanted to discuss in this management. So hope you watch this video. It is a very fantastic video, and you'll be more you'll be gone through the some topics of management, and you subscribe to my channel, and you motivate me. And this is my very first video in the management and entrepreneurship. Thank you for saying it, and mostly you will enjoy. Thank you all once again.